everybody.
JK Love it. What's happening, homie? I feel like I've been getting to the lives more and more these days. I dyed my hair and gave myself a haircut today. I've done so much shit, and now I'm just waiting before I have to go do something. And I was like, you know what? Let's do a message. How's your day so far, everybody? What up, Phoenix? So far, my day has been amazing. Thank you. I know, it always curls a little bit more after I cut it. What up, what up, what up? Blaze one for the nation. Blaze one for the nation. Get you guys good up and holy. Remember I was talking about the other day? I had these joints, and they were called Maui Wowie. So Maui Wowie came back into my life again. Okay? And like, I don't even know how it happened. She just... Weed loves me. Weed loves me. So, now that everybody's had a chance to get settled, because, you know, Moonshine's high. She's alive. There's going to be the most amazing messages coming through. You guys just wait. Oh, yeah, the motorcyclist made it. I have not been able to update anything today, but he is he's in Toronto, and he was flown out to Toronto immediately, and there was a doctor on the scene, and there was an off-duty doctor and an off-duty cop at that accident the other day, and so that guy's life got saved. Like, fucking big guy was there for sure. A doctor, an off-duty doctor, just driving around on a fucking Monday or Tuesday, whatever fucking day it was. So yeah, got a lot of good news about the biker. He's from Quebec, and he's alive, which is more than what I thought happened to him. But again, I didn't see it, so I have no idea. Okay, so let's roll the dice for the first message. That was interfered. Thank you. Okay, so Gemini, the moon, and 11th house. Ooh. Why do I feel like somebody's about to tell you something? Like a friend. Or there's a group of people that have a lot of anxiety. Okay, so either there's some type of hidden like knowledge that's about to be surfaced here, maybe from a close friend, an acquaintance, or you're going to get lined up with somebody who deceived you, or these people who deceived you are getting some fucking communication, you know what I mean? And it's not good. Someone should have warned you. Yeah. I feel like something's going down for your enemies here. What's up with this 11th house? Nine of Swords. Something's taken over somebody's mind. So maybe 9. Okay, 2 9s. Okay. 1 up, 1 down. Maybe they're a Cancer. But they've got the 9 of Cups now in reverse. Like there's something look at this. It's like something taking over their mind on the surface, and underneath the surface in the underworld is their 9 of Cups, which I feel like they've deserted. You know, like, where are you? Why are you not on the bike? It's like the analogy is kind of supposed to be to leave your bike there and kind of go chasing after the world. But the bike is being lit up like it's your wish, okay? It's your wish to do this. And like the Ace of Cups in this deck is the spokes of the spokes are the cups, but the actual wheel here is the Ace of Cups. So the fact that there's two aces, it means that would be the 2 of Cups. And there is a card where 2 people are riding the same bike. What is happening here? Okay, give me Gemini. Communicate with me here. Another 9? Is this a joke? 999? Look at another 9. 9 of Pentacles now in reverse. So their 9 of Cups is in reverse. Their 9 of Pentacles is in reverse. And then there's this 4 of Cups. Or 4 of Pentacles, sorry. The whole thing's crumbling down. The whole thing's crumbling down. Okay, so I feel like this is a group of your enemies or an enemy of yours that now something has taken over their mind and they can't get what they want anymore. From the looks of it, they're going to lose their independence. And they're going to be left in the 4 of Pentacles. Like, that's not much. That's not much. They were in the 9 of Pentacles and they dropped to the 4 of Pentacles. That's you ain't going to want to be in that energy. Okay, give me this Moon. They could be a Pisces. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Something's going to happen quickly. I think somebody devised a plan maybe to do something to you, or maybe they have done something to you. And I feel like Ace of Swords. Okay, so I feel like we're on the right track with that. I feel like somebody did a plan. They did something behind your back, okay? I don't know what they did, but they researched you or researched something, or I don't know, they did something, okay? Maybe regarding money. And I think they were like, that is the fucking truth. Look at that. As I say that, the page of scoops. Very immature energy. Erica's very young. There's the Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, so the truth is out there. There's another page. I feel like people are acting like children right now. Okay, and it's like not flattering, to say the least. Okay, it's very okay. Remember, these are timeless and they're general. I feel like somebody had like a crush on you or like liked you, okay? And it might have been the first time that they have ever liked anybody in their whole life, or that's how they acted anyways. Like, oh my God, I've never liked anybody the way that I like you. And you, honestly, like, you might not have even been like that into them. Like, maybe once they said that, you might have been like, ugh, okay, that's not what I want to hear. Okay, I don't know, because okay, now I'm getting the message. Okay, I see what's going on here. Okay, so I feel like your hidden enemies got into somebody's head. And maybe this was you, like, oh my God, I've never loved anything like this before in my life. Oh my God, I'm going to go for it. And it was like, whoa, somebody might have been like, that's a little too much energy. And it was the mind flare was something that was getting inside of you and it was controlling you. So then you acted like a child. So then you acted like, okay, and these are immature spirits that are doing it. You have to understand where the mirror is going to come from. It's not you, it's going to be them. Okay? So these hidden enemies got into your head through a connection, Aquarius energy, okay, through a divine connection. And it kind of made somebody spin out of control. Okay? And the person who is responsible for all this energy is about to experience significant loss financially because they lied. They lied. And I think that your wishes have kind of possibly just been sitting there and your money has kind of just been sitting there. And I think maybe you haven't been able to touch it because of what thing in your mind was doing. It was possibly, you possibly could have gotten somewhat saved, in regards to the universe had to keep certain things from you so then they didn't get stolen from you. Because once the karma is stolen completely, there might not be anything there left. So I think somebody had some little idea, okay, to possibly point you as the Queen of Swords in reverse, like you're the liar. So now it's been in your head, like, well, they say I'm the liar. They say I'm lying about everything. And it's like, man, it's all an illusion. You weren't lying about anything. They just didn't want to hear the truth. They just wanted to do something to you. They wanted to make you like a child. King of Swords all of a sudden in reverse on the bottom of the deck. The Chariot's here in reverse. There's another page. 3 fucking kids are here. Okay? Like, I don't really take that as, like, that's a sign, 3 children. And I just heard 3 blind mice. Interesting. So in this little group of hidden enemies, in this 11th house, in the moon energy, 3 people are acting like children and trying to hurt you in different ways and put you in the moon energy and take your sun away from you, your growth. So are they trying to keep you a kid? That's the thing. These could be adults keeping you as a child. Like, you're not old enough to do this, and we don't trust you with this, and we don't trust you with this. And you're like, I'm fucking 40 years old. If you don't trust me at this age, right? Just constantly labeling somebody a child, like they can't be trusted. The World. I didn't even freaking see that. I'm just holding the deck in my hand. I thought I was going to shuffle it again. Well, I am, but this means this is wrapping up. This cycle is wrapping up. Obviously, this moon energy. So now we're winding down now. So we got the new moon coming in like just over a week. Probably like 10, 11 days or something like that. I think it's like the 17th is the next moon. It's the sturgeon moon. Sturgeons are fish. And fish are often represented with the 9 of Pentacles. And your 9 of Pentacles has been taken away from you. It's also represented in Pisces energy as well, which is the moon, which is present. So maybe we're getting some type of lucrative cycle coming in come the new moon. Seem to have a little, there was a reaction when I said new moon, yeah. Ooh, the Emperor. Okay, I could have sworn I dropped a card on the ground, but there isn't one to be found, so look at that, the Emperor. I feel like that's going to be your future. Your very near future, I just heard. King of your own castle. In some way, you know? Temperance energy, yeah. Because you've relaxed so much. Again, there's this moon energy here. 8 of Cups. So I almost feel like these people have to leave you alone. Okay, these children here. I don't know who the fuck they are, but like, I don't like them. Okay, there's too many kids here. For an awful lot of bad energy. There's no reason for kids to be here. And I think they're not children. I think they're adults acting like kids. Okay, taking something away from you. And the thing is I think one of your best assets is about to be, you know, when Dustin finds out how to do his hair, life-changing for him. Okay, when he figures out what mousse does and hairspray does to curly hair, he's a whole new Dustin. Okay, and I feel like that is going to be the outcome of this. If they did some type of magic on your hair is going to come back like times fucking 10. You know what I mean? Lush, huge, big, healthy. Okay, they did something to your relationship's going to come back stronger than ever, you know, like alive, bursting with energy. Okay, whatever this deception was, whatever these people did, these enemies did, you know, it got in your head, and I think it might have fucked with you. It might have made you break up with somebody that you shouldn't have. It might have made you leave a job that you shouldn't have, right? Because they were fucking with you. They were in your head, chirping. These people hate you. You know, you need to leave. You deserve better. It's like, have you seen the workplace out there? There is no better. Okay, everybody gets treated like shit now. If you haven't fucking noticed. Okay, so to be told that you deserve better, absolutely, you probably do, but please wait until you get the new job or the advance or the exception letter, right? Before you just go quitting, okay? And I feel like this could be somebody quitting, you know, before they had that safety net, before they had, right? Because that was a part of the plan. That was the part of the plan, to take this independence away from somebody and put them in a lack thereof. And in the Four of Pentacles, it's always people holding on to their money. And you might seem like, oh, well, it's a good thing. You know, they got money, but they're also, it's like money on their mind. They're holding on to it. They're standing on it, right? It's so controlled that there's no room to grow. It's on their mind. They're constantly thinking about it. They're constantly walking on it. They're constantly holding on to it. That's not a very good ebb and flow of possibly the exchange that should be occurring in your life with money or finances or energy, or, right? It's an analogy. Take it if it resonates. Okay. Okay, so if you are like currently trying to seek information, this is for you. This is your validation. Oh, what's that right there? Oh my God, look at that. That just slid up. I didn't even freaking see it. Allow divine timing. There it is. Because if you are on divine timing, the universe will tell you that. It will show you, okay, how you are on divine timing. All right? Once you're on divine timing, things happen. Okay, that's where you start getting lined up with things. That's where you start getting information. Oh my God, this lady, I met up with this lady the other day, totally fucking by chance and fluke, and she gave me some of the best information that I have needed from another woman. I just don't have a lot of woman friends, you know? And she just was like, I'm going to give you everything you need right now. And she gave me doctors. She gave me information. She told me about prescriptions. Her husband just sat there the entire time and ate and watched the baseball game while she was going on and on and on about how to take some of these medications. And oh my God, it was so inappropriate, some of what we were talking about, but I was like, I need this information. Like, you have no idea. I've been waiting for, you know, a Hierophant, okay, to come to me and tell me all this information that I fucking need because I'm getting older and I don't have parents, Guten Tag, okay, and I don't have family around that can help me with this kind of stuff. So I need women at the right time to pass me by, to give me information. I need men on my path to help me on the side of the road, to help me, you know, get a good mechanic, to give me some good advice on the manly stuff, right? Why do you think we're all fucking here? To exchange things for each other. Why do you think people are on here, right? To help people, to exchange with people. Okay, the how-to videos are out of this world. Okay, the do-it-yourself videos, out of this world on here. Honestly, I learned how to... I know my father actually watched a YouTube video on how to fix the window of my car door, and it worked. I watched a how-to video on how to fix my sister's door the other day. I mean, thank you, do-it-yourself YouTube videos. How can people say that YouTube's going out of style? Are you kidding me? I'm going to use YouTube until the day that I die. Okay, everything I need is on there. There's just a man who makes content about father things. If you don't have a father, and these are things that he would teach his son or his daughter, and he just goes around and makes videos about awesome things that he would have taught his kids. Like, you'd think that that was sad, and in a way that it really is, but at the same time, obviously something misaligned in this man's life, and he probably should have had kids and he didn't, because he was probably going to be really good at it and somebody took it away from him because they're the devil. Okay, so now he gets to reincarnate as an older man with all this wise information. Okay, and he just gets to give it away. Just give it away to people just because he's a nice man and can do that. Okay, find those nice people that make those videos on that content that allow you to be able to do things for yourself. Because let me tell you, if you are out there alone, okay, and if you don't have a whole lot of people, the things that you need to learn are things like how to maintain your car, so then you don't have to pay out the ass for simple things that like your father would do for you. Okay, simple maintenance around your houses. If you own houses and you're all by yourself making, you know, or you got kids and you're taking care of people and nobody else is helping you, you need to start watching those videos. I'm getting the goosebumps out like a motherfucker all over my body. I just shaved, so great. Okay, you need to start doing some shit for yourself. If you're used to buying takeout all the time, learn those awesome recipes. They are pretty fucking simple. And cook in bulk and start freezing your food. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is that you need to do, there are people that are working against you deceptively. Okay, look at them. They are They're cocky about it. Okay, they're cocky about it. They know what they can deliver. Okay, and I know that it's you against a lot of people out there, and you need to learn how to defend yourself. Okay, you need to learn your rights. You need to learn how to stand up for yourself, especially if your landlord is doing shit, okay, and you feel it's not right. Call the cops. Ask the cops if it's legal. Honestly, if you don't have the internet, call 911, all right? Or the non-emergency line. Please call the non-emergency line. And a cop will tell you if it's right or not. Okay, you need help out there. There is help out there because there are people against you. Okay, and they want to make it hard for you, and they want to tear it down for you, and they want to make it seem like you're a child and you can't take care of yourself and you can't do this and you can't do that, and you need to not prove them wrong. Okay, for the sake of them, you need to start learning things for yourself and proving yourself right. Okay, that you can do things. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you can't learn how to change a tire. Are you fucking kidding me? Right? That could save your fucking life if you live somewhere and you can't just call CAA or some type of, service, right? Like this kind of shit. Don't be biased now. Don't start going like, oh, this is a man's job. This is a man's job. Don't start doing that shit to yourself now. Or this is a woman's job. I can't be going around and making homemade bread for my kids. That's a woman's job. Please get that out of your fucking mouth. Okay, it's not a woman's job. It's a parent job to feed your child. You're both responsible for that shit. Okay, just so happens that women are just better cooks. Okay, because we add love. It's the main ingredient. People don't understand that, right? CAA, honestly, okay. So Wolfgang, you got to understand. CAA back in the day used to be the bomb. Okay. And I don't know what it changed into now. I haven't used it for years. And then I went to go use it. Used to be able to call that day and get service, a membership, and then just get somebody out to pick you up. It was amazing. Okay, one man brought us a fucking battery in the middle of nowhere, hooked it all up for us, made sure we were okay, popped a little air in our tires. It was like the best service stop I ever had in my life. CAA won't even take a passenger in their car anymore. They just leave you on the side of the road. What kind of service is that? Anyways, I'm not going to get into that. I could go on for hours. But I'm just saying, because it is such a scam, learn how to take care of your shit. You know what I mean? Have like tow truck numbers already programmed in your phone. Right? Don't get caught with your pants down. All right, next message. Thanks, everybody, for liking the video. Really appreciate that. Hope you're all having a great day. Make sure you send your telepathic questions in my way so I can answer them with spirit. Oh, here we go. Answering one. Great choice. Choose love. Okay, that's not the way I thought it was going to go. Okay, so we did have great choice in reverse. I didn't want to take it because love showed up, and I thought, well, I'm not going to put it in reverse because that seems stupid, but it's going to go in reverse because the reading kind of changed here. We have the fly on the wall. So Spirit's been listening to somebody. Okay, and they feel like a loser when it comes to you. They feel like a fucking loser. Okay, like they're at a dead end and they can't go anywhere. Literally, like they're at a dead end and can't go anywhere. Okay? They are pretty pissed at this. And I feel like they are not gonna let this dead end stop them, which that's not what a dead end is for. It just means you have to find a new direction. Okay, the direction you're choosing is not working, therefore you need a new way to do it. You need a new way to go. Okay, with the crow here, it makes it seem like there's going to be some type of love avenged. Okay, which, I mean, it all started with love. And I feel like it's going to end with love. Okay, because the invitation is here, which means somebody is going to ask you out. You're going to get an invitation for something. It's just an analogy, okay? You're going to get an invitation for something. Because they made a stupid choice in the past, they're choosing to change the energy. They're going to approach it a different way. Look at Hex and Witch. Like, my nose is so itchy all of a sudden, and like, what the fuck? It's Witch in reverse with a Hex. And if the Witch is in reverse, it's a monster. So you have had some type of third-party interference fucking with your love life. And I feel like you're supposed to be with somebody who you were already with. And then I think this witchcraft and this witch came in with this Hex and fucked your relationship up and put it at a dead end and killed it. That's why maybe this person thinks it's their fault. And it's nobody's fault. It's the witch's fault. It's the Hex. It wasn't either one of your fault. Okay, so... Okay, so whoever this person is, okay, I do not think that they're around you. I feel like they're not... You get a reaction too? No way! Yeah, mine gets itchy like a motherfucker. Okay, so I feel like somebody is on their way to you. And they might not be around you right now. And they have to choose the flight or the fight. And they choose the flight because the flight just showed up. Isn't that weird? Usually the flight is not a good thing. And then Krampus showed up. It's possible that this witch hexted you on Christmas. Because, like, you had some kind of luck around you, and this lucky card was in reverse, and I flipped it up because, again, I have to try to read the energy before I'm just going to take it in reverse. And then look at this under the bottom of the deck. We have the two-sided card in reverse, and then the lucky card is in reverse. And then the red and the green, the silver, the red, and the green, those are Christmas colors. And now it's like your luck got taken away from you because of this witch's hex. That was not a good choice, by the way. That was a very bad choice to do this. I don't know who did this to you. I don't know who this third party, if they were like hired by somebody, but look on the top of the deck. Delusional. This witch should not have done this. Okay, this should not have happened. This is the shit that, like, this is the crow. You fucked with somebody's love. This world is a very evil place, and when people get reincarnated here, they need that love. It's the one thing that keeps them doing their mission sometimes. You take that away from them, you create a spark. And that spark That's the kind of shit that starts wildfires in mountains. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ontario is still on fire. Okay? Probably from somebody's love spell. Oh my God, look. Health and safety in reverse, and then fighting and drama queen. Oh my God, okay, we get to look. Okay. Spirit's gonna let us open up the door here to a little bit about what happened. Okay, because something was meant to stay hidden regarding you and this person, and it's not being hidden anymore because it was evil witchcraft. Consider the other one to be a drama queen because something was irrational. It wasn't handled properly. It wasn't done properly because it was hexed. So you both kind of, I think, look dumb to the other person. Okay? You got into some type of really heated conversation, possibly about money, okay? Or they think it's about their money and they called you a drama queen. The fight was about money, I don't know, but there was some type of fight. Somebody might have gotten hurt. The fight might have been over Christmas. Somebody's freaking out. I can hear that song, Freaking Out. Somebody's freaking out right now. They must know that they got tricked out of you. I mean, however way it plays out, whether it was romantically, whether it had something to do with work, somebody caused some type of drama behind the scenes, and you got fired because of it. Spirit is pissed, okay, for what this witch did. Okay, so there's some type of breach in somebody's private property. So some type of energy got into your house. Some type of karmic energy. A Libra. Venus energy, somebody you were contracted with. You had this fucking fight, and then that was it. You couldn't do it anymore. Then you get divorced. It's because you're so exhausted because this witchcraft has been fighting you for a very long time, trying to get you to divorce, and it worked. You divorced this person, it worked. Look at War of the Worlds. They didn't want you with somebody, so they did shit to you until you fought with them for so bad that you broke up. So I think, I mean, if you got divorced by somebody, like, don't be surprised if they come back. Because, like, you might have kids and shit with them. So they might suddenly be like, do you want to go have a coffee or go and talk? Or because, like, they're suddenly just not going to be mad anymore. Like, because the hex is done. Okay? So it's going to be like this weight gets just lifted off of you, and all the things that you were believing before are suddenly going to be just dissipated. They're going to be gone. They're not going to be there anymore. So now you guys have the option of returning again. And some people do that. Some people get divorced and years later they get back together. I mean, I'm literally getting Pink and Corey Hart got back together. They divorced. They had this massive fight. And I think she like punched him in the face or some shit like that. And it was a physical fight they got into. And they divorced, and now they're married again, and they've been married for longer and stronger than they were before. They spent some time apart and dealt with their shit and whatever was going on. And, you know, relationships aren't perfect, right? It's you got to be good in them. And if you're good, the relationship will be good. If somebody starts to veer out of control and if witchcraft gets involved, then suddenly the two people that are so-called good now aren't. And you have to figure out why that is. Right? Because there shouldn't just be something wrong with your relationship. Something has to happen. There has to be a violation. Somebody either goes out of the relationship, or somebody starts talking shit outside the relationship, or somebody starts looking outside the it always has to start with something. But if neither one did anything and it just separated, and because you had this fight because you were so exhausted because you couldn't keep it together anymore, that means something sinister got in between. And, you know, even my mother said it once. She goes, you know, if your father and I, this was like 10 years ago or something like that. She goes, if your father and I had started dating when we were older, she goes, I really think we would have got along better. And I was like, honestly, it's so true. They started dating when my mother was like 17, and she didn't like him. You know, she didn't like his personality. She didn't like who he was. And she forced herself to stay with him. And then having 2 kids and getting married, you know, she saw how pissed off she looked on their wedding day. Like, she looked absolutely miserable the day of her wedding to my father, and then had 2 more kids and stayed with them for like another 4 years, like an idiot. Okay. And then had an affair with somebody. Anyways, but to say 30 years later, oh, by the way, it was kind of like a slap in the face, you know, because like, I don't know if parents really realize what divorces do to their kids. But it's a very sometimes selfish thing when people divorce, because yes, I feel like more selfish to stay together and say it's for the kids, because you just end up ruining your kids' lives and saying it's because of them you stayed together. But then it's the people who stay in the relationship, right? Or, you know, divorce because it's the easier thing to do when maybe they should have ducked it out, and maybe they should have tried, okay? Or maybe they shouldn't have had that second child to try to fix everything. Maybe they actually should have fixed things, not added another soul contract into the mixture. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's some type of like witness. Okay, like there's a fly on the wall. So the hex is wrapping up, okay, between you and this person. And I feel like, don't be surprised, you know, because sometimes your vision changes once the spell wears off, once the hex wears off. So don't be surprised if like your ex drops your kids off one day and you're like, well, you're looking a little different these days. What the hell? And they're like, no, I'm the same person. And you're like, I don't think so. Okay, and there's that little spark in your eye. It's because this magic is reversing now. Okay. And they're coming back. And it's not because of the money. You know, like if somebody thinks, oh, you know, they just want me back because they don't want to pay alimony anymore. They don't want to pay child support. No. And trust me, you'll know the difference, okay? Ugh. Oh, gosh. You know what is so cute? is the people in your life that make really big mistakes, but they still have a little bit of problem with admitting when they're wrong. Like, they will admit when they're wrong, but like, they won't always admit when they're wrong, you know? So then they do these other things that try to say, I'm sorry. And I just think it's the sweetest thing ever, you know, like, admitting when you're wrong and admitting that you fucked up is a really hard thing to do. Okay, but like, once you start doing it, like, okay, so everybody, I don't know if you know, but when my sister and I, when we had to go through COVID and everything and her divorce, we've kind of just been together this last little while, just, you know, because financially it was just a lot better to live with somebody than live alone. And right. Did I just lose my train of thought? But so she needed to work again after being kind of like a kept woman in a relationship. And I've always been a bartender, always been a server. So I got her, you guys have, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds. But I got her watching that movie and I was like, I think you should just be a server. So my sister started waitressing at 40 years old. And I've been kind of just teaching her the ropes of my 20 years in the field, okay? How to deal with people and how to deal with bosses and, you know, just how to deal with being in the weeds and how to deal with managers and, you know, just things that I've picked up on over the years. I've just kind of tried to help her with. And the other day we were talking and I said, you know, there's a reason why, because I told her this back in the day, but she doesn't remember everything I say, but I said to her, you know, back in the day when you're serving or when you're bartending or whatever customer service you is, I said, I never, even if it is the cook's fault, I said, I never blame it on the cooks. I said, I don't blame something on somebody that these people can't see. So even if it is the cook's fault, if something happened to their food or they didn't look at the mod that I made, I just take the blame. Okay, because they can see me, they can talk to me, they can hear me. I'll just say it's my fault because, you know, 9 times out of 10, what I started finding out, I started doing that about 10 years ago. I just started taking the blame for everything because I was so sick of the excuses, right? Just trying to make up excuses to these people just to get my tip as to how their food got fucked up or something, right? And even if it was my fault, I didn't want to say it was my fault. You know, I want to just blame it on the cooks at that point, right? Blame it on somebody they can't see. So then I'll still get the tip, right? But once I started changing that and just taking the blame, I noticed that my tip would go up because I acknowledged the problem and said that I was sorry because I know I fucked up. And they'd be like, really? And they kind of like, some people look at each other like, interesting that you chose to take blame for that. And I'd be like, well, you know, I found in my experience, it's just better to take blame for it because if you make up excuses, I hate excuses. I can't stand excuses. Excuses about why you treated me like shit. Excuses as to why you weren't here. Excuses. Like, we all know life gets in the way. It's called be there on time. It's called leave a little bit early. It's called give a shit. Because if you actually cared about what you were doing, you wouldn't give somebody some stupid ass excuse as to why you were late or why you didn't show up or why you missed their call. You would just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because you would mean it because you didn't mean to do it. But people who mean to do it give excuses. Okay? Or if they kind of know they're going to get in trouble, then they try to think of an excuse to get themselves out of trouble. You're not a child. You can't take somebody getting mad at you for 5 minutes and getting you in shit and moving on with your day. Like, it's called take it. Just take it. Why? Does it really matter? No. Right? But they can't. They're pride. They're just a little, it's just, you know, it's just a little, like, just a little bit of a problem. But honestly, the more and more you work on it and the more and more you just start taking it, just take it for the team. Just, you know what? I'll do that. You know what? I'll take responsibility for that. You know what? I'm in charge of that. I should have did it. I'm sorry. You know, just stop being shitty. Just stop being shitty. And you won't have to make up any excuses and actually care about your life. Don't need any excuses. Care about your girlfriends. You won't need any excuses. Give a shit. Don't need any excuses. All right, dump the excuse bullshit. You know, I actually said to myself yesterday, I think I made a New Year's resolution, and I said to myself, oh, at least you're doing something about it, because you can make New Year's resolutions whenever you want. It doesn't have to be New Year's. Okay, it's just called resolutions, okay, as to why you are a problem. Because guess what, honey? You are a problem. In a lot of cases, you're the problem, okay? You need to be the problem. You need to be the solution. And to be the solution, you must evolve to the resolution. You know what I mean? And life just becomes so much fucking easier. Oh, it was this guy's fault. Oh, it was this guy's fault. Oh, it was this. Oh, once you start taking it for yourself, you're like, hey, I'm going to slow down. Okay, I'm going to watch everything. Okay, I'm not going to do that because I know that angry person's over there. I'm not going to taunt myself today with Satan. I'm just going to turn around and walk away. You don't think we all don't have a little bit of the devil in our blood? Of course we fucking do. But we've got 3/4 of something else, so go with that, all right? And I think we have time for one more. And then I got to hit the road, Jack. 1331. That number has been coming up like a motherfucker. 1331, 1331, 1331. And that's a good sign because like people think that the number 13 is not a good number. It's like one of the most luckiest numbers in the world. And 31, as it is its mirror, also very lucky. Do you realize that not every month makes it to 31? Only particular ones do. Maybe that's a sign. It's lucky. Oh. Okay. One last reading. And then I got to go, hoes. The data centers? What the fuck? Yeah, they're just driving around their helicopters, dropping vodka bottles lit on fire. If they want a fire started, they'll just do it. I'm a fire starter. Twisted fire starter. Yeah, that's the government. Yeah. Larry Flint, ladies and gentlemen, he is dead. Mr. Flint is dead. I saw Prodigy in concert so long ago. Oh my God, the concerts. I couldn't even tell you how many concerts I've been to because I think it could be how many bands I've seen. It's possible that like it could be 1,000. Like I have been to so many festivals and so many concerts and I have seen so many artists. I don't think I could tell you how many people I've seen. I've seen so many. And he was like doing this on the stage. Oh my God, it was like, I might have even been in the mosh pit. Oh, I think the first time I went to a mosh pit, I was like 12 years old. Somebody picked me up and threw me onto the crowd. Oh my God, poor Whitney. Okay, last message, people. Here we go. Who's smoking that weed? Ooh, should we finish our roach? Did we finish it? Where did it go? Yeah, we did finish it. Okay. How high am I? Oh my God, I walked into the dispensary yesterday because of this accident. My sister was driving around and I walked right into the wall. I'm like, I'm sorry. I've been dealing with a lot these past couple days. She's like, yeah. No kidding. Oh my God. I swear I can still hear that accident smashing in my head. Oh, but the shakes are gone though, so don't worry. I'm not shaking anymore. So I feel like there's okay, somebody coming into Collective's life here that is going to help them do magic or help them, like, it's a very important union, okay, because it's going to balance out something. It's going to ignite something. Remember I said spark? You know, it's so weird. I said spark. Look at that joint is lighting that dynamite. That's the spark. And this is like people who can manifest. Like, you guys know how to manifest. So something is going to manifest out. You know what I mean? This actually could be as well. Ooh, okay. So somebody might get a new familiar. And that familiar is going to carry a soul in it, okay, that helps you manifest. Like a motherfucker. Like, they just make you powerful. Or maybe this familiar could already be in your life. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. Sounded like you fucking foul, man.
No.
Yeah, like, see how she's got the snake around her? But she's got the wand? Right? So she's creating magic with that snake. This joy and light. He's on the horse, or, you know, unicorn for magic. Wow, Whitney, spit it out. For magical purposes here, a unicorn. But again, you know, he's got the staff, he's riding, that you could get a new horse, or suddenly you go see your horse and it wants to ride, you know what I mean? And it just becomes this unicorn that just starts bringing you from like one dimension to another. This could also happen in your dreams. Okay, like, my familiars have shown up in my dreams many times. Sometimes they show up as giants. What up, everybody? What up? Okay, sometimes they show up like huge creatures, but they're so gentle. But I'm not usually scared of them, but they're pretty fucking huge. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be like, this is a really important connection to restore something. Okay, to restore the world. Okay, this could be like huge mission shit. Okay, restore the world. Your familiar is going to get you doing something. Okay. Whatever it is, it's very, whoever you are, you're very balancing. Okay, you're very nurturing. There's something about this grass. I don't know if you like to walk around or spend a lot of time on the grass. Okay, but that could be your connection as well. She's got the tree there. A tree could give you some type of download on what you're supposed to do next, and it could become your tree. You know, it's got a spirit in it. Okay, it's in a very important spirit. This is a very important union. Okay, and maybe you need to smoke some weed to expand your mind, expand your thinking, open up your third eye. Weed, marijuana, it's very balancing. It can take you from very high to balanced, you know, a little bit lower, so you can communicate better, right? Or if you're really low, okay, it can take you very high. It can become a big upper for you. Like, I can smoke weed, as you can see. Look how much energy I have. Do I look high to you? Do I look like, oh, I just want to eat, man? No. The fuck? Okay, you can use weed for many things. Trust me, I'm high, but not like I'm going to fucking drool and like die and cake over. Okay, I use weed more medicinally, which means I use more uppers than lowers, and a lot of marijuana that contains high CBD, which is a pain reliever, a natural pain reliever. I stick to lower THC because THC actually gives me a headache. Okay. So you could maybe start smoking weed and take away your pain pills and it's the perfect union, right? I swear, weed makes me a better mom to my pets. It makes me more aware of their environment because their environment is nature, right? So it makes me clean their soil a lot, and I just moved all their branches yesterday. Oh, look at, speak of the devil, he shall appear. He was underneath his freaking soil all last night, sleeping. I took him downstairs to see the little kids downstairs because he's never met children before. He was so nervous. Oh my God, his little heart was beating, and the one lady wanted to hold him, and he like jumped into my arms. I was like, I'm sorry, he's a little shy. He was so shy, but he did so well with these little kids. These little girls were petting him, and oh, it was so cute. He's such a good boy. So maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody's going to do some magic, okay, with their snakes or something. I actually told my ex-boyfriend a long time ago, he has so many animals and so many insects and snakes and stuff like that I was like, you should have like on the road gypsy traveling reptile show, and go to like kids' birthday parties and, like stag shows and bring your snakes out for people to handle. Like, man, guys love that shit. Kids love that shit. Everybody loves that shit. I don't know. There seems to be walking meditation. Yeah. So they just need to connect with themselves here, connect with their heart. Okay. Maybe connect with their community. What is your community lacking? Okay. Maybe there's an adoption center around and you're going to go and there's going to be a dog there, and that dog just completely completes you and allows you to do what you need to do because now you've got more protection with you or something. I mean, there is something about a dog for sure. Okay. I do feel like it is an incredible bond. Okay. And it helps you, especially if you're going to start introducing marijuana or some type of, stimulant that helps you connect with the world a little bit more and connect with your third eye and connect spiritually. There definitely is a higher connection and a connection that goes beyond this physical world. Okay. So if you feel like you're telepathically communicating with your dog, you are. He can hear you. Okay. If you feel like whatever, like that's a big thing. If you feel like you're telepathically communicating with your dogs, or if you feel like your cat can hear you and understand you, it can. Animals aren't stupid. Reptiles aren't stupid. And my sister is a witness to this. Okay. With this new soil mix that I have been giving him, he's a corn snake, and it is summertime, but he likes to, I didn't really know this, but he likes to dig. And so since putting this new substrate in, he's been digging himself under the soil so well that I can't see him. He's completely dug under the soil. Like there's no head poking out. There's no tail poking. Like he's gone. Okay. And so I had to feed him the other day and he was under the soil, of course. So they always know when they're getting fed. Okay. My snakes, they understand me. So he went under the soil, and he was under there for like a couple of days. It was also a heat wave too, so I think it was cooler under the soil. And I stood over his enclosure and I said, Modi. I was yelling his name, calling him that's just his short form kind of nickname. I was calling him his full name, and I was saying, like it's your time to eat. It's your day to eat. Like your mouse, your rats are thawing. Okay, buddy. Like I'm gonna have to find you because sometimes I have to go in there and dig in there and find it. But this time I thought I'm gonna call him, and I'm gonna see if he comes out. And because he knows he's supposed to eat. I've already told him yesterday. By the way, telepathically, dude, you can eat tomorrow. And I got the rats. I told my sister, oh my God, okay, I'm going to have to go digging for Modi because I can't find him, blah, blah, blah. She comes into my room, and no word of a lie, his head was poked out right here. His whole head. Tell me if reptiles are so stupid and they can't understand you and blah, blah, blah. How the fuck did he hear his name being called and poke his head out? I didn't move the screen. I didn't shake it. I didn't do nothing. And actually, my other snake, she has a feeding call because she likes to hide a lot too. In this log that she has because she needs heat. So she hides in her little heat cave. And I have this call that I do on her cage because it's a grill. So I call her name and I make this sound. And sometimes it takes a little bit to wake her up because she's a snake and they don't really have good hearing. But eventually she'll get up. She hears that sound and she knows that's the only. And I've never used it for any other reason. It's only her sound for food. And she also knows her name. And actually, my sister said her name the other day while she was out on me, and she turned around and went on to my sister. So she knows her name. Like, they know who they are. Okay, so if you feel like your familiar is coming in and something's going to happen, and it will. Okay, you will communicate if you want to. Your animal will be able to understand human language and car rides and where you're going, and they're very smart. Okay, so whatever this next cycle is, there's definitely a very important union coming in because it's going to help you do something in your future. It's going to either give you more confidence or more security, more safety, more intuition, more open-mindedness, more communication. It's going to do something for you, whatever it is. So there's something coming in your life, and however way it's designed, it's different for everybody if it resonates. And it's a full fucking, basically open line portal to something that you get to do creatively, and you're so tapped in with spirit. It's like you're going to have an open line because of this thing. It's like getting a new telephone. There it is. Maybe you're going to get a new camera and now you can make content. Maybe you're going to get a new phone. Now you can make videos, right? Something. I mean, again, it's an analogy. Okay, the animal is an analogy for possibly something else that's going to allow you to do something. Maybe you're going to get a car and now you can do home delivery service. Something like that. You're going to get a license. Now you can drive. Okay, so take the analogy if it resonates. Obviously, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking the video, by the way. That really helps, and I appreciate that. Have a wonderful day. Send your telepathic questions in my way, and I should be back tomorrow. But I'm not quite sure, but I should be. All right, so peace out, y'all. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. Guten Tag. Thank you to my moderator. JK, thank you. Friggin' Wolf Gang in the house. Peace out, everybody.